Mike, just verifying we are streaming.
Okay.
We are now, yes.
You're okay, Mr. Hayes?
Welcome, everybody. I'd like to call this meeting of September 3rd of the Kennett City Council to order. Do we have any special intentions today? Councilman Brennan?
Thank you, Council Chair. Yes, I would just like to, and I don't think I have to ask this, I'm sure it's being done, but please let's remember all the fellow Louisianians and Texans over in West Texas, Lake Charles, Cameron, that have been impacted greatly by the storm of last week, and be thankful that it spared us, but anything we can do to assist with them, thoughts and prayers are with them. Thank you, Council Chair.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Carroll?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to ask for everyone in the audience and the council prayers for Mr. Al Floyd East, resident of District 1 for many, many years, who has gone on to glory. I would like to ask for the prayers for Mr. East and his entire family. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Segura?
Yeah, like to also ask for prayers for our city attorney, Ed Rapier's family. His sister passed away this week, and I'm sure that's why I don't see him here right now. He's probably tending to that, but obviously that was apparently unexpected. So we wish him and his family the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else?
Is the mayor going to do one? I didn't see his hand up. Okay.
I'm looking for the mayor right now. There he is. I'm not hearing anything.
If I may, the mayor, as you may know, has had an oral procedure and is very challenged for him to talk. It's painful for him to talk. So during the meeting tonight, to the extent possible, we'll have others provide information, and he will be speaking only if absolutely necessary, because again, it's very painful for him to speak at this point.
Okay, then I have another special intention, President.
Yes, sir.
Also, just the other day, we lost a former Jefferson Parish councilman, Mr. Jimmy Lawson, longtime friend of a lot of us. And he had a long battle with some cancer and finally got to him. So we wish him and his family, we say our prayers for his family and wish him a speedy trip to heaven. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Council Member McKinney will lead us in the invocation.
One moment, please. Lord, thank you for this day and the opportunity for us to come together to make decisions for our community and work together for the best of Kenner. Please give us direction, fortitude, and grace to deal with the challenges that may lay ahead. May we always listen with open ears and seek guidance from you in all we do. Amen.
Amen. Councilman Brennan will lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. For everybody's information, voting tonight will be by roll call. Madam Clerk?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum. In accordance with Council Resolution number B14550, please be advised that all cellular telephones, papers, beepers, and other devices of this nature must be deactivated or silenced throughout the council meeting. Do I have any resolutions, motions, or other items from the floor? Seeing none, under the consent agenda, we have item 1, approval of minutes, the regular council meeting of August 21st, 2020. Item 2 is approval of alcoholic beverage permit applications. We have none. Item 3 is approval of bingo and public gathering applications. We have none. Item 4 is correspondence, reports from the mayor, CAO, and department heads. Item 4A, at the request of the administration, a report from Mayor Zahn.
All right, and as I said earlier, the mayor is, I'm sure he doesn't like having to sit by and listen while we speak on his behalf, but there's 4 items that would come up in the mayor's comments this evening. We first want to start, we're going to have Adam introduce the Kenner music program. We have Paul Christian from Kenner's own LPC Music here to talk tonight. So I'm going to let Adam do the introduction.
Thanks very much. So
back in 2019, we entered a cooperative endeavor agreement with the Louisiana Apartamento Conservatory. It's a music program. It's part of the alternative recreation program through the city. And Paul's going to explain this a lot more in depth, but what they do is they provide free music classes to the city for all skill levels, all ages. And not holding up anything anymore, Mr. Paul Christian.
Yes, thanks to Adam's introduction, and as a result of him outlining the cooperative endeavor agreement between LPC and the city, I can narrow the focus and keep this incredibly short to what we've offered to our community up to this point, what we're going to presently offer starting this coming week, and how the community can get involved with the program. LPC, or Louisiana Apartamento Conservatory, is a music trade school, workshop, and charity, providing the community free music classes at one level. And this is sort of the beginning of our program. Since the start of social distancing, we've offered over 100 free hours of music lessons to the members of our community here in Kenner, and throughout, because of Zoom, we've been able to expand. On September 7th, LPC is beginning our fall schedule, and we'll be offering 10 hours a week of free lessons to the community. We are excited to announce that we are now in partnership with Lighthouse Louisiana. You may know it formally as Lighthouse for the Blind. And I believe Janice Heck is here with Lighthouse as a representative to stand with us. We will be offering 2 free hour-long classes to members of her community, and we encourage members of our visually impaired community here in Kenner to come and take a part. With this partnership with the Lighthouse, they've already purchased 7 new keyboards from Kenner's own C&M Music Center this past week. So we're really excited to hear about this. I believe they have 9 students that are going to be in our first initial classes, but we're looking to grow that. The second thing that we're happy to announce is that LPC now is starting a program in Spanish. On September 8th, our first Spanish music class will be a beginning piano music class taught by our own Eduardo Leyva. And he perhaps is also in this Zoom, I believe. So we're very excited about that, bringing in the Spanish-speaking community. Included in our fall schedule are classes in piano, fretted instruments from the guitar to the ukulele, vocal and drum workshops, and a special reading and listening group hosted by Benjamin Stein of York University in Toronto. Ben became one of our good friends earlier this year. He approached us because of our work with Apartamento, which at a later time, I can go into the nuts and bolts of what Apartamento is. Basically, it's just a technology that composers have used. And anyway, Ben reached out to us. We formed a friendship, and he actually taught a class for our faculty, improving our understanding of what we're teaching. This happened over the spring. But Ben will be doing this class on Monday nights, again, starting on the 7th. How the community can get involved, we have a website, lpcmusic.com. At that website is our schedule right on the front page with all of the links portaled to the classes. You don't need to enroll, you don't need to sign up. All you have to do is go to the website at the time of the class, click, and you're in. Again, you're free. This is for all levels. For those who are curious that just want to come and see, they can audit, they can come and go, but obviously if you want to meet certain goals, you need to be consistent and keep coming. That said, also our contact information is listed on our website for any other questions the community might have. With that, that really kind of closes my part of the presentation. I would like to say thank you to a couple of people. Specifically, Adam Campo was instrumental in getting us to this point. He brought us to the mayor, and the 2 of them have really been helpful at getting us through this process. It's been over a year now, just to get to the point where we're ready to announce to the council. There's been a lot of legwork that's been done. Involved in that, I've got to say a thank you to the Recs Department and Chad Pitfield, Molly McGinnis, Mark Glorioso, and Michael Claus. All of them have been instrumental in helping us. Thank you so much. We're very excited about working with the city.
Thank you,
So
sir.
if I could just wrap up there, you can go to that website, but you can also go to the City of Kenner's webpage, kenner.la.us. You go to the resident tab, drop it down. It says music program. Click on it. You go straight to his site. So anybody who wants to play an instrument, plays an instrument, or just flat out curious, this is a fabulous place to go. I have been in a couple of those myself. But Kenner's very own music program, our own music conservatory, and we need to get the word out broader and wider, because if you want to learn how to play the guitar or the ukulele or sing, you can do it for free with some really professional folks. So Adam, did you have any wrap up on that?
I think we've covered everything unless the council has some questions.
Councilman Carroll? I'm sorry. Sorry.
Hodge, do you have your hand up? Councilman Brannigan, do you have your hand up? Unmute.
No.
Okay. I don't see any. Oh, Councilman Carroll?
Thank you. Thank you both of you presidents for that ability to talk right now. But thank Adam, thank everyone for the presentation. It filled in all the questions that I may have had. I have just a couple of more. It's lpc.com.
lpcmusic.com.
Music.com. Okay. And the time that it will start, the physical time of the date to log on?
Yes, the first class is 6 p.m. on Monday, September 7th.
Okay.
There'll be 2 classes that evening, one that starts at 6. That is a Lighthouse class.
Okay.
And everyone is invited to that. The model of these Lighthouse classes is off of the Paris Conservatory's adjunct program. It started in the 19th century. And they found very quickly that all the top prizes were being won by the visually impaired. And very quickly, even students with sight began to roll in that program. So the things that we're giving in all of these classes are open to everyone, regardless.
Okay, so on the 7th, everyone's open to go to that one. Is there a certain day of the week there will be the classes, or are there more than one day a week?
They're going to be Monday through Friday. Right now, there are 2 classes per day. There's one day, I think there's just one class that's a Wednesday. But there are at least 2 classes on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And like I said, there is a class on Wednesday as well.
Okay, and this information will also be on the website if I go to lpcmusic.com.
It's very easy to navigate, Councilman. I would say that, all you have to do is log on. It's one page. The schedule is there, and it should be very easy for the community to find all that.
Okay, well, thank you a lot, man. I appreciate their time and everyone's efforts in putting this together. Obviously, this is the way that we are doing things these days. And I think the young men and women and older people who are interested in learning a new craft skill will be able to use this. It's a pretty good thing. So I will pass.
And might I add, Councilman, I've got to just say as a citizen, it goes without saying, at this time of world history, to be given a platform to be able to talk about the program is thanks to the council, most certainly. We owe you a great debt.
Well, thank you. And the good thing about it, no matter what the skill level is, you're able to get in. And then once you're in, something else will take place as it relates to your skill level, because there are some young men and women who are very talented, and there are some who are just learning for whatever instrument it may be. So we look forward to that information. Look forward for you coming back too, just to give us an update in 3 or 4 months to tell us how it's going, if it's going to be going on for that month long.
Thank you so much, Councilman. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President, I believe also Janice Heck from the Lighthouse has a hand up as well.
Yes, ma'am, unmute. Ms.
Janice,
Heck?
if you can unmute, Janice, you can go ahead and talk.
Ms. Fauché, why don't we continue and then let's see if she can unmute at
All
some
right,
other
and-
point.
Yes, sir. And while we're waiting for that, I happen to notice that a number of the LPC board members are in the audience. A number of the LPC professors are in the audience. I think I might even see a student or two. So this group comes to us with a big following already. So we're very, very proud to have them here in the city of Kenner. All right. At this point, I don't see Adam. Is Ms. Heck unmuted?
No, I think she's having some technical difficulty with that.
All right, why don't we move on to the next speaker? But if you determine that she's able to get in, then we'll go back and listen because we'd love to hear from her.
Absolutely.
All right, with that, at this point, I'd like to call on Molly McGinnis to give us an update on brake tags.
Hi, yes, we have a work group set up with most of the gentlemen from the brake tag station. So they're all working very well on this, setting up the satellite stations. We have all of the applications and forms, certificates, everything ready to go. We're working on the application process now, and hopefully we will have some inspected and approved and ready to go as soon as possible. I can't give a date on that because weather, the world, but as soon as possible, we will be opening those and everyone will know about it. There will be posts on the city's webpage, social media. I'm sure there will be a press release and we'll have the signs up at all those key intersections to let everybody know where they are.
Thank you, Molly.
Mhm.
If I may, Mr. President, our next speaker will be Heidi Glorioso, who's here to talk about a Main Street project.
Hi. So I just wanted to give everyone some information on an upcoming town hall meeting in Kenner that will focus on the Main Street Grant Recovery Grant Program that is being administered through the Louisiana Department of Treasury. So this is a $275 million program that is open to all small businesses statewide who are suffering the economic impacts of COVID-19. So this is not just for businesses that are located in a Main Street community. This is open to everyone. And small businesses could qualify for up to $15,000 in grant assistance. Also, of the $275 million, $40 million has been set aside to specifically assist minority, women, and veteran-owned businesses as well. So the program opened on July 28th, but funding is still available. So that's why State Treasurer John Schroeder is visiting cities all throughout Louisiana just to help educate business owners on the program and answer any questions that they may have. So this town hall meeting will be held on Monday, September 14th in meeting room 3 of the Pontchartrain Center, and it starts at 5:30 p.m. So this meeting is being organized with the help of Senator Kirk Talbot. So because space will be limited due to COVID-19 restrictions, anyone who wishes to attend is just asked to RSVP through Senator Talbot's office to reserve a spot. So a flyer with more information and how to RSVP will be posted on the City of Kenner's website and our Facebook page. But we're just asking for any assistance to spread the word and kind of encourage business owners to attend. I think it'll just be a great opportunity to learn about a very important program, and it could help to save many of the small businesses here in Kenner. Thank you.
Thank you, Heidi, very much. Does anyone have any questions for Heidi before we move on? Okay, so our next presentation will come from the fire department. We just appreciate the heck out of these guys for going to try to help in the aftermath of Hurricane Laura. So I'm going to let the fire chief introduce this program or this part of the program.
Thank you, Ms. Fauché. Thank you, council and everyone. And I'd like to continue to pray for the victims of Hurricane Laura. As you know, the Louisiana State Fire Marshal oversees a program, Urban Search and Rescue, that responds to all types of emergencies, disasters, such as hurricanes and stuff like that. We were activated, we're part of Region 9, which is on the North Shore out of Hammond. We were activated with them early on, and we were dispatched to Western Louisiana to assist in some search and rescues. So with that, I have Captain Dyer, who is our training officer and oversees the USAW program, give you an example of what we did while we were dispatched on that mission.
I first thank you, Mayor and Chief Morris, for approving the team to participate in this mission. On August 27th, the Kenner Fire Department's Urban Search and Rescue Team was activated by Task Force 9 through the Louisiana State Fire Marshal's Office. 5 members from Kenner Fire deployed with 1 pickup truck, a Suburban, and a water rescue boat. Task Force 9 consists of the Kenner Fire Department, Hammond Fire Department, Independence Volunteer Fire Department, LaRoger Volunteer Fire Department, and Albany Fire Department, Ponchatoula, St. Bernard Parish Fire Department, St. John Parish Fire Department, and 3rd District Volunteer Fire Department. The task force met at Hammond Fire Department headquarters, where we completed some medical checks and held our initial mission briefing. Task Force 9 convoyed to the Louisiana State Fire Marshal's Office for a vehicle check-in and await a mission task to be assigned. On the morning of August 28th, the team was assigned a mission task to conduct secondary searches of Vernon Parish, along with Oklahoma Task Force 1, Colorado Task Force 1, and Indiana Task Force 1. Our base of operations was set up at a local school in the town of Pitkin. Our living area was not ideal, but the team adapted and overcame the obstacles. As you can see in the pictures, some team members slept on the floor, on cots, and some outside. Showers were cold water only, which were taken in tents located in the parking lot. Task Force 9 was assigned to search all areas south of Highway 28 in Vernon Parish. Over the next 3 days, teams searched approximately 350 square miles of Vernon Parish. Our task force members visited each residential structure to assess for damage, search the structure, and to assist with life-threatening needs. During this time, we assisted many residents with access to and from their houses due to downed trees and other hazards. 2 members from KFD assisted a family with burying a family service dog that did not survive the storm. And all of our team cleared 2 miles of trees that had fallen across the road to complete a health and welfare check on an individual with brain cancer. Several homes were destroyed, and they were searched to check for victims that were not accounted for. Fortunately, at the end of the mission, all residents were accounted for. The area that we were assigned had a large elderly population that needed assistance. Members had heard many stories that were heartbreaking. Our team went above and beyond to assist, and sometimes just to listen to other residents and offer our condolences. At the end of our mission, the entire team left the community with a sense of compassion for wanting to do more for the citizens. Throughout our mission, several families prepared hot meals for our team. In conversation, we learned that one family that had cooked for us twice had lost half of their house due to the storm. The community of Pitkin were more worried about taking care of us for helping them. On September 12th, members of Task Force 9, their families, and other local leaders will be traveling to Pitkin to cook a meal and deliver supplies for the community. I'm extending that invite to the mayor and the council if they are available. If you are interested in donating or attending, please contact me. And again, we'd like to thank Mayor Zahn and Chief Morris for becoming a part of Task Force 9 and allow us to help deploy.
Mr. President, that concludes the mayor's comments.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Council Chair, please. May I?
Councilman Brennan.
Thank you. I just wanted to, we've had some really good presentations and speakers today. I just, without slighting anyone, I just want to thank the men and women of the Kenner Fire Department and all first responders that just do so much. And when you see these photographs and you see what they've been through, and to know that our guys and ladies or our team was part of it, it just makes me even that much more proud. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments? Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir. That will conclude the consent agenda. If I could get a motion in a second for the consent agenda?
Motion by Councilmember McKinney, second by Councilmember Brannigan to approve the consent agenda.
Yes, sir. If I could get a roll call vote, please. Councilman McKinney,
Yay.
Councilman Wilmot,
Yay.
Councilman Carroll,
Yay.
Councilman Segura,
Yay.
Councilman Hayes,
Hey,
Councilman Brannigan,
Yes.
Councilman Brennan.
Yay.
Motion passes 7-0. Under the public appearance agenda, we have item 9, public hearings and final passage. Item 9A is summary ordinance number 12,732. An ordinance levying the adjusted street millage rate to be extended on the assessor's tax rolls for all taxable property within the corporate limits of the city of Kenner, Parish of Jefferson, state of Louisiana, based on the 2020 assessment rolls.
motion by Councilmember McKinney, seconded by Councilman Brannigan to open the public hearing. Council members, let's vote.
Councilmember Wilmot,
Yay.
Councilman Carroll,
Yay.
Councilmember Segura,
Yay.
Councilmember Hayes,
Yes.
Councilmember Brannigan,
Yes.
Councilmember Brennan,
Yay.
Councilmember McKinney.
Yay.
Motion passes 7-0 to open your hearing.
Do we have any comments from the administration?
Yes, Council President, thank you very much. As with earlier, I'm going to call upon smarter people to give you information about this. Just to introduce this topic, though, this is the road millage. As you recall, previously we had all 4 of our millages on at the same time for levying and we had to pull this one off because of a technical reason. I am going to ask at this point that Eric Mund, on behalf of the City Attorney's Office, first speak to the technical reason, and then Mike Wetzel from the CFO will speak to the financial implications of this vote.
Thank you. As Ms. Fauché explained, we're just voting on the street millage tonight. It's a 2-step process for that in order to get the rate where we want it to be. Basically what happens is we will adopt the adjusted millage in 9A, and then we'll move on to adopt the final millage for 2020 in 9B. And just to let you know what those rates are, the adjusted rate will be the 5.45 mils, as the assessor came up with during this first time it's come through assessment. And then the 2020 rate, the final rate will be the 5.59. That 5.59 rate will put us back to what was originally voted on by the voters in 2017 and went into effect in 2018 at 5.59 mils. So basically this 2-step process will get us back to what it has been levied at in the last 3 years. So Mike Wetzel has the sort of amounts of money that this will generate, but that's the process.
Yep. Thanks, Eric. So the 5.59 mils, which was voted on by the public and approved, will generate a $153,341 additional to the city. The total millage collects, or if passed, will collect $3,092,808 for the homeowner that has an assessed home of $100,000. It's a $17 increase for a year. $150,000 home is $32 a year. $200,000 home is $46 a year. $250,000 home, $60 a year, and a $500,000 home is $131 a year. Not everyone is going to get this, because if your assessment stayed the same, then your taxes are going to stay the same. If they went down, then of course your taxes will go down as well. Any questions?
Councilman Wilmot.
Thank you, Council President. In the legislation itself, it indicates, says 2020 mills hereby levied, and it's got 5.45. Then it has 2019 mills for comparison, 5.59. From what I'm hearing and what I'm looking at, it looks like it doesn't correlate. Could you explain, anybody?
Yes, yes, sir. And I'm going to actually tip this to Eric, but I think one of the challenges here is it is a two-step process. So what we're talking about, both Eric and Mike Wetzel talked about both elements of the process. There's the first one, 9A, which is the rolling to the lower number, and then the 9B rolling it back up to what the people voted for. So when you look at one of them by itself, it won't make sense for what we're trying to accomplish, but because of the process, you have to do both of those. So Eric, if you can make sure that what I just said was correct.
You summed it up pretty well. So yes, basically this 9A will put us to what the assessor's office calls the adjusted rate at 5.45. And then you'll see, which as you can see in that comparison in 2019, it was at 5.59. We're going down to 5.45, which seems counterintuitive until you look at 9B, which has us going from the adjusted rate, or has the adjusted rate for comparison, and then shows what the 2020 millage rate will be levied at ultimately, which is the 5.59. So
Is the adjusted rate at what we're currently at now?
no, sir, you've not levied anything for streets for 2020 yet. There's not been a levy.
So this will be the adjusted rate, in effect will increase according to the homeowner's assessment. Is that correct? Or could
well, the rate, I don't want to be too tight. The rate will be what the council levies tonight. As far as individual tax bills, what a homeowner will pay, that rate is then multiplied by the assessor's assessment to get their tax bill.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Okay. Okay, so this is a two-part step, 9A and 9B together. And they go hand in hand, of course. And then 9B, when we haven't gotten to that yet, I'll hold questions for that later. But I do understand. Thank you for your explanations. Thank you.
Councilman Brannigan.
I checked my tax bill and the assessment is 5.59 on my tax bill for 2019.
Right.
Thank you. Mr. Campo, seeing no other comments here, do we have anybody that would like to speak on this?
I don't see any hands raised from the public, Councilman.
Thank you. Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember McKinney, seconded by Councilman Brannigan to close the public hearing. Council members, let's vote.
Councilmember Wilmot,
Yay.
Councilmember Carroll,
Yay.
Councilmember Segura,
Yay.
Councilmember Hayes,
Yes.
Councilmember Brannigan,
Yes.
Councilmember Brennan,
Yay.
Councilmember McKinney.
Yay.
Motion passes 7-0. To close your hearing, if I could get a motion for approval. If I could get a motion and a second for approval.
I'll motion.
Motion by Councilmember McKinney, seconded by Councilmember Brannigan for approval. Is there any discussion on the item before we vote?
Vote again by roll call.
Councilmember Wilmot has his hand up to speak on the item.
Councilman Wilmot, do you want to speak? You don't have your hand up now.
Yeah, I do. Yes, sir. May I speak? Hello?
Yes, sir.
May I speak?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, as far as this legislation for 9A, this is not an increase as far as what we're voting on. This just allows to install the numbers that were actually voted on by the people back in 2018 or 2017. Is that correct?
9A and 9B combined do that, Councilman.
Okay. So okay. That answers my question. Thank you. That's all I have.
Any further discussion on the item prior to voting?
We do have a citizen with their hand up.
Thanks, Adam.
Y'all want me to let her speak now?
Yes.
Stacy, you can go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. If you would state your name and address. You have 3.
Hi. Thank you. Stacy Alessandro, 3309 Chateau Boulevard, Kenner. I just have just one question. I just want to see if I'm understanding this correctly. So by the time you guys vote on both of these measures combined, the end result will be that a person who has, say, $100,000 assessment on their house and paid a certain amount of taxes in 2019, that same house, if it's still assessed for $100,000 in 2020, they will wind up paying the exact same taxes for this millage in 2020. Is that correct? That's basically what I'm just trying to understand. I think that's what y'all are saying, but I'm not sure. Thank you.
I mean, take it, Deborah.
Yes.
Yep, Stacy, you're exactly correct. It will be the same exact amount.
Anybody else? Mr. Campo?
I don't see any other hands up, Councilman.
All right.
Council members, could you please vote? Councilman Carroll?
Yay.
Councilmember Segura?
Yay.
Councilman Hayes?
Yes.
Councilman Brannigan?
Yes.
Councilman Brennan?
Yay.
Councilman McKinney?
Yay.
Councilman Wilmot?
Yay.
Motion passes 7-0. Item 9B is summary ordinance number 12,733. An ordinance levying the increased streets millage rate to be extended on the assessor's tax rolls for all taxable property within the corporate limits of the city of Kenner, parish of Jefferson, state of Louisiana, based on the 2020 assessment rolls.
Okay, we have a motion by Council Member Brannigan, seconded by Council Member Segura to open the public hearing. Council members, let's vote.
Councilman Segura?
Yay.
Councilman Hayes?
Yes.
Councilman Brannigan?
Yes.
Councilman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilman McKinney?
Yay.
Councilman Wilmot?
Yay.
Councilman Carroll?
Yay.
Motion passes 7-0 to open your hearing.
First of all, administration, do we have any additional comments?
No, sir. The comments that we made in connection with 9A were really for 9A and B combined, though obviously we'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Mr. Campo, anybody with their hands up? Anybody wants to speak?
I don't see anybody from the public.
Okay. Motion by Councilman Brannigan, seconded by Councilman Segura to close.
Wait. Councilman Wilmot's got his hand up.
Councilman
All right.
Wilmot, would you like to wait until the item is on the floor for approval?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so right now we'll be voting to close your hearing. Motion by Councilmember Brannigan, seconded by Segura to close your hearing. Councilmember Hayes,
Yes.
Councilman Brannigan,
Yes.
Councilman Brennan,
Yes.
Councilman McKinney,
Yay.
Councilman Wilmot,
Yay.
Councilman Carroll,
Yay.
Councilman Segura.
Yay.
Motion passes 7-0 to close your hearing.
All right, Councilman Wilmot.
I have a motion by Councilmember Brannigan, seconded by Segura for approval. Now we can entertain the council members' discussion.
So thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to, and this is going to be repetitious because we already covered it really, but now that we're on 9B, I wanted to reiterate it. The actual language in the legislation says that that the following increased streets millage rate, but not in excess of the prior year's maximum rate, is hereby levied upon the dollar of the assessment. I just want to make sure it's absolutely clear. We're not raising or increasing the millage rate. That's correct?
No, sir, you are approving it at the millage rate previously voted upon by the people. You're simply acknowledging there's been a reassessment which, based upon the value of your house, will increase, decrease, or remain the same.
Okay, I just wanted that point of clarification. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's all I have.
Councilman Carroll, did you have your hand up?
No, sir.
Okay. Council people, let's vote for the, Madam Clerk?
Anybody in the audience? Anybody in the audience?
No.
Thank you.
No hands up.
Councilman Carroll,
Yay.
Councilman Skewer,
Yay.
Councilman Hayes,
Yes.
Councilman Brannigan,
Yes.
Councilman Brennan,
Yes.
Councilman McKinney,
Yay.
Councilman Wilmot.
Yay.
Motion passes 7-0. Item 9C is summary ordinance number 12,734. An ordinance revoking the dedication of the 15-foot alley in Square 509 Highway Park Subdivision, Kenner, Jefferson Parish, Louisiana, bounded by unimproved 19th Street, formerly West Metairie Avenue on the south, 20th Street on the north, Colorado Avenue on the west, and Connecticut Avenue on the east, which said property is owned by the city of Kenner.
All right, we have a motion by Councilman Segura, seconded by Councilman Brannigan to open the public hearing. Council members, let's vote.
Councilman Segura,
Yay.
Councilman Hayes,
Yes.
Councilman Brannigan,
Yes.
Councilman Brennan,
Yes.
Councilman McKinney,
Yay.
Councilman Wilmot,
Yay.
Councilman Carroll.
Yay.
Motion passes 7-0. I believe the planning department has a presentation, Mr. Chairman.
Director Dufour?
Yes, we do. Thank you, Council President. I'm going to share my screen for this real quick. The applicant in this particular case is RDRSSES. Can you hear me?
Yes.
RDRSSES Investments LLC, 2900 Lesage Street, Suite A, Metairie, Louisiana, 7001. The applicant owns all of the abutting lots, 1 through 31 in Square 509, and is requesting that the alley be revoked so that he may re-subdivide the property, including the alley, into 2 new lots to relocate his business. The city of Kenner has determined that this particular 15-foot alley is not needed for a public purpose and therefore supports the revocation request. There are no utilities underneath this particular alley, and the Planning Commission did vote to approve the revocation. That concludes the presentation.
Mr. Campo, anybody have their hands up for comments on this?
I see no hands raised, Councilman.
All right. Again, we have a motion by Councilman Segura, seconded by Councilman Brannigan to close the public hearing. Council members, let's vote.
Councilman Hayes,
Yes.
Councilman Brannigan,
Yes.
Councilman Brennan,
Yes.
Councilman McKinney,
Yay.
Councilman Wilmot,
Yay.
Councilman Carroll,
Yay.
Councilman Segura.
Yay.
Motion passes 7-0 to close your hearing.
Okay, now we have a motion by Councilman Segura, seconded by Councilman Brannigan to approve. Council members, let's vote.
Councilman Segura has his hand up, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, Council President. My comment on this is just going to be real quick because there's another piece that follows that I'll have more on. But the passage of this is the first step for the next piece that's going to come up in a little bit to help turn this property back into economic development and bring more revenue for the city. So I encourage everyone to pass this.
Let's vote by roll call.
Councilman Brannigan,
Yes.
Councilman Brennan,
Yes.
Councilman McKinney,
Yay.
Councilman Wilmot,
Yay.
Councilman Carroll,
Yay.
Councilman Segura,
Yay.
Councilman Hayes.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Item 9D is summary ordinance number 12,735, an ordinance approving the sale of a 21,961 square foot portion of the Minden Avenue right-of-way between squares 4 and 5, Hanson Place subdivision, Kenner Jefferson Parish, Louisiana, which said property is owned by the city of Kenner.
We have a motion by Councilman Carroll, seconded by Councilman Wilmot, to open the public hearing. Council members, let's vote.
Councilman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilman McKinney?
Yay.
Councilman Wilmot?
Yay.
Councilman Carroll?
Yay.
Councilman Segura?
Yay.
Councilman Hayes?
Yes.
Councilman Brannigan?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0 to open your hearing.
Planning and zoning, any comments?
Yes, Council President, I have a quick presentation. I'm going to share my screen again. The applicant in this case is Al Leone on behalf of Carl Center LLC, 4524 Bolac Lane, Metairie, Louisiana. The property is located between Reverend Richard Wilson and the Mississippi River levee. All of the properties on both sides of the street are owned by Carl Center LLC. And all the properties are zoned special industrial. The applicant proposes to purchase the subject street to close it to traffic as a safety precaution to prevent cars from turning down Minden Avenue while they are moving heavy equipment between their warehouses across Minden Avenue. During the review process, it was determined that there were utilities under Minden Avenue that served the applicant's properties. The applicant has agreed to place a permanent servitude on top of the property, protecting all access for utility companies in the city of Kenner. The property was appraised on January 23rd, 2020 by Neil Meyer. He estimated the fair market value as $55,000. The applicant has accepted this price, and that concludes the planning department's presentation.
Thank you. Mr. Campo, anybody has their hands up?
No, sir.
All right, we have a motion by Councilman Carroll, seconded by Councilman Wilmot, to close the public hearing. Council members, let's vote.
Councilman McKinney?
Yay.
Councilman Wilmot?
Yay.
Councilman Carroll?
Yay.
Councilman Segura?
Yay.
Councilman Hayes?
Yes.
Councilman Brannigan?
Yes.
Councilman Brennan?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0 to close your hearing.
Council members, let's do a roll call vote.
Well, I have Councilman Carroll who would like to speak, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd just like to thank the planning department for their support on this. As he indicated, there aren't any residents that live on this section of Minden. All of the properties are owned by Mr. Carl. And because of the utilities, some of the surrounding residents, were concerned that just in case something were to happen that could have affected them, that we had the ability, along with all the to access to property, and that has been assured. So we look forward to this being another part of progressive construction in the city of Kenner and in District 1. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir. Again, council members, let's vote to approve.
Councilmember Wilmot?
Yay.
Councilman Carroll?
Yay.
Councilman Segura?
Yay.
Councilman Hayes?
Yes.
Councilman Brannigan?
Yes.
Councilman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilman McKinney?
Yay.
Motion passes 7-0. Item 9E, a summary ordinance number 12,736, an ordinance approving the lease of 18,023 square feet of unimproved portion of Oxley Street between squares 93 and 94, Kenner Orchard subdivision, Kenner Jefferson Parish, Louisiana, which said property is owned by the city of Kenner.
We have a motion by Councilman Segura, seconded by Councilman Brannigan, to open the public hearing. Council members, let's vote.
Councilman Carroll?
Yay.
Councilman Segura?
Yay.
Councilman Hayes?
Yes.
Councilman Brannigan?
Yes.
Councilman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilman McKinney?
Yay.
Councilman Wilmot.
Yay.
Motion passes 7-0 to open your hearing.
Mr. Dufour?
Yeah, thank you, Council President. Let me share my screen again for this presentation. The applicant, in this case, is Contractor Cabinet Tops, doing business as Countertop Factory, 1801 11th Street, Kenner, Louisiana, 70063. Stated the subject right-of-way sits between 11th Street and 10th Street. It is unimproved, and there are no utilities underneath the right-of-way. The purpose of the app for the lease is to continue to use the property. This is a continuation, a renewal of an existing lease that the applicant has had since 2016 for this property in order to use it for additional storage for their countertop business. The property was appraised by Wayne Sandos on March 16, 2020, and determined that the fair market rental value was $2,700, and the applicant has agreed to that amount. That concludes the planning department's presentation.
Mr. Campo, anybody wishing to address us on this matter?
Miss Stacy Alessandro has her hand up. You can go ahead, Stacy.
Hello, just a quick question. I noticed that the city is selling 2 separate parcels of land, and we've had an appraisal done on each parcel, but the appraisals have been done by 2 different companies. So I was just wondering, these appraisals, I'm hoping and I'm assuming they probably were ordered by the city. So number 1, were both appraisals or the appraisals ordered by the city? And then number 2, how does the city decide which company to use when they're appraising these properties? That's all I want to know. Thank you.
I can explain that, Stacy. So when someone approaches the city to purchase or lease a street right of way or something like this, we go through the process of figuring out if it's something the city actually doesn't need. And once that determination is made, we had a list of appraisals that Jefferson Parish uses. We put out a bid to those appraisers for the appraisal. Once those are returned to us, we then send the 3 lowest bids to the applicant. They select which appraiser they want. They bring us a check for the appraisal, and that begins the appraisal process. So we only facilitate the actual solicitation of bids from licensed appraisers. The applicant picks the appraiser based on the bids that are returned to them. Does that answer your question?
Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't realize my mic was still live. Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay.
Anybody else, Mr. Campo?
I see no other hands, Councilman.
Okay. We have a motion by Councilman Segura, second by Councilman Brannigan to close the public hearing. Council members, let's vote.
Councilman Segura,
Yay.
Councilman Hayes,
Yes.
Councilman Brannigan,
Yes.
Councilman Brennan,
Yes.
Councilman McKinney. Yay. Councilman Wilmot,
Yay.
Councilman Carroll.
Yay.
Motion passes 7-0 to close your hearing.
All right, we have a motion by Councilman Segura, seconded by Councilman Brannigan to approve. Council members, let's vote by roll call.
Councilman Hayes. Oh, I'm sorry, Councilman Segura has his hand up, sir.
Councilman Segura?
Thank you, Council President. I just wanted to reiterate, as Mr. Dufour alluded to earlier, this is just a renewal of the previous lease that we went through in 2016 and gave to this business. And they have been a good steward of the land that is owned by us, but are used by them. So I think it's deserving to be renewed and encourage everyone to do so.
Thank you. I think we should add that Councilman Segura has worked with all of these people that he has on the agenda tonight that to a good extreme. So he understands obviously what this is all about. And we appreciate the comments from you, Councilman Segura, and also from planning. All right, council members, let's vote on this by roll call.
Councilmember Hayes,
Yes.
Councilmember Brannigan,
Yes.
Councilman Brennan,
Yes.
Councilman McKinney. Yay. Councilman Wilmot,
Yay.
Councilman Carroll,
Yay.
Councilman Segura.
Yay.
Motion passes 7-0. Item 9E is summary ordinance number 12,736. An ordinance approving the lease of 18,023 square feet of an unimproved portion of Oxley Street between squares 93 and 94, Kenner Orchards subdivision, Kenner Jefferson Parish, Louisiana, which said property is owned by the city of Kenner.
We have a motion by Councilman Brennan, seconded by Councilman Hayes, to defer this item for one meeting. Council members, let's vote by roll call.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, can I please reread? I read the wrong item into the record. I need to clarify what item that we are deferring. If I could, please, I apologize for any inconvenience, but it's item 9F, which is summary ordinance number 12,746. An ordinance granting a construction servitude to the Department of Transportation and Development of the state of Louisiana for the state project number H.011670 I-10 and Loyola Interchange Improvement Route I-10 Jefferson Parish, Louisiana. The council clerk had inadvertently put this item on this agenda. It belongs on the next agenda. You will see it reappear on the September 18th agenda. I apologize.
That's what you mentioned, that we have to defer this item for one meeting.
That is
All right.
correct.
Motion by Councilmember Brennan, seconded by Councilmember Hayes to defer this item for one meeting. Council members, let's vote.
Councilmember Brennan,
Yes.
Councilmember McKinney,
Yay.
Councilmember Wilmot,
Yay.
Councilman Carroll,
Yay.
Councilman Segura,
Yay.
Councilman Hayes,
Yes.
Councilman Brannigan.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0 to defer for one meeting. Item 10 is opening of bids. We have none. Item 11 is reclassification of zoning for final passage. Item 11A is summary ordinance number 12,737, an ordinance amending ordinance number 11,062, adopted by the city of Kenner, Louisiana on March 17, 2016, entitled Unified Development Code of the City of Kenner, Louisiana, more particularly amending and rezoning lots X and Y, Square 377, Highway Park Subdivision, Kenner, Louisiana, from C1 Neighborhood Commercial to RR1 Single Family Residential.
We have a motion by Councilman Segura, seconded by Councilmember McKinney to open the public hearing. Council members, let's vote.
Councilmember McKinney,
Council President,
Yes, Councilman Segura.
just a quick statement on what this is for. This is a long-standing vacant lot that's been in this subdivision. It's called Highway Park, but it's really more Westgate identified as. And this lot is right next to both residential, single family and multi and commercial. So the owner of the lot has the intention to build 2 single family residents on this lot. So the purpose of rezoning it and getting it that purpose from C1 to RR1 is so he can build the 2 houses on it. So it's a good move for the subdivision and the city to get better use of a vacant piece of property.
Mr. Dufault, you don't have any additional comments, do you?
Well,
I assume he
actually,
doesn't.
Councilman summed it up pretty good. The square is zone C1, but it's developed residentially. And so the rezoning fits actually with the long-term comprehensive plan. So the planning commission did vote to approve it.
All right. Is there anybody, Mr. Campo, wishing to address us on this?
Mr. Chairman, I need a motion and a second to open your hearing for this item. If I could, please. We didn't get a motion and a second yet for this item to put it on the floor for open your hearing.
All right, let's vote.
Councilmember McKinney.
He read it.
What did the dog do? Did the dog vote yay or nay?
We didn't vote to open your hearing yet, sir. I'm sorry.
I'm just joking about the dog in the background.
Okay, I was clarifying to Councilmember Segura, we need to get a motion and a second and vote to open your public hearing for this item.
Okay, again, we have a motion by Councilman Segura, seconded by Councilmember McKinney to open the public hearing.
Councilmember McKinney,
Yay.
Councilmember Wilmot,
Yay.
Councilmember Carroll,
Yay.
Councilmember Segura,
Yay.
Councilmember Hayes,
Yes.
Councilmember Brannigan,
Yes.
Councilmember Brennan.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0 to open your public hearing. At this time, we can entertain anybody from the public or any department that would like to speak.
Adam, do we have anybody?
No, sir.
All right. Motion by Councilman Segura, seconded by Councilmember McKinney to close the public hearing. Council members, let's vote.
Councilmember Wilmot,
Yay.
Councilmember Carroll,
Yay.
Councilmember Segura,
Yay.
Councilmember Hayes,
Yes.
Councilmember Brannigan,
Yes.
Councilmember Brennan,
Yes.
Councilmember McKinney.
Yay.
Motion passes 7-0. Just a point of clarification from the council clerk. These are Z cases, zoning cases, and in accordance with our, I believe it's our charter and our council rules, these items do require a public hearing. Even though they don't appear under item 9, they appear under item 11, they require a public hearing. So just wanted to clarify that point to the council members so you would know why you're opening a public hearing.
All right, we have a motion by Councilman Segura, seconded by Councilmember McKinney to approve. Let's vote.
Councilmember Carroll,
Yay.
Councilmember Segura,
Yay.
Councilmember Hayes,
Yes.
Councilmember Brannigan,
Yes.
Councilmember Brennan,
Yes.
Councilmember McKinney,
Yay.
Councilmember Wilmot.
Yay.
Motion passes 7-0. Item 11B is summary ordinance number 12,738. An ordinance approving the plan of re-subdivision of lots 1 through 31 and the revoked 15-foot alley, all in square 509 Highway Park subdivision, Jefferson Parish, Louisiana, into lots 1A and 15A, which lots are owned by RDRSSES Investments LLC, and amending ordinance 11,062 adopted by the city of Kenner, Louisiana on March 17, 2016, entitled Unified Development Code of the City of Kenner, Louisiana, more particularly amending the official zoning map of the city of Kenner and rezoning lots 1A and 15A, square 509, Veteran Heights subdivision, Kenner, Jefferson Parish, Louisiana, from RR1 single family residential to SI special industrial.
All right, we have a motion by Councilman Segura, seconded by Councilman Brennan to open the public hearing. Council members, let's vote.
Councilman Segura,
Yay.
Councilman Hayes,
Yes.
Councilman Brannigan,
Yes.
Councilman Brennan,
Yes.
Councilman McKinney,
Yay.
Councilman Wilmot,
Yay.
Councilman Carroll.
Yay.
Motion passes 7-0 to open your public hearing.
Councilman Segura or Mr. Dufour, any comments?
Yeah, the planning department does have a brief presentation to go through this case real quick. I'm gonna share my screen. The applicant in this case is RDRSSES Investments, and this previous applicant was the same one that closed the alley. So this is square 509. They are seeking to re-subdivide lots 1 through 31 and the revoked alley into 2 new lots. The property is currently vacant. It's surrounded by a lot of airport buyout property, although this property was not actually purchased by the airport. Now, in anticipation of this process, the applicant did conduct an early neighborhood meeting in which the councilman attended, and they reported that they did support the rezoning of this particular piece of property to special industrial. The applicant is putting up a fence and they were satisfied. So they were supportive. You can see by the zoning that the property is currently zoned RR1. It's being sought to, it's being rezoned to SI if this was approved. But it is surrounded by RR1. A lot of the land surrounding it is airport buyout land, which cannot develop residentially. The 2 new lots numbers 1A and 15A. I believe lot 1A will be where the applicant relocates his business, which is an electrical company. And that concludes the planning department's presentation.
Councilman Segura, you have any comments?
Just a question, Mr. Dufour, you said this was not airport noise buyout?
No, this particular land was not purchased by the airport.
Okay, because
I'm sorry.
well, the original owner bought it at an auction from the airport.
Oh, mate. You know what? I think you're right. I was thinking of another piece of property. No, this was airport property. I stand corrected. I apologize. It was bought from the airport, the entire piece, so it can't develop residentially.
Okay, yeah, that was my
I
point.
apologize about that.
Yeah, because it was airport buyout, and I'll get back to that later.
You're going to get back to it later?
Well, when we close the public hearing.
All right. Mr. Campo, anybody interested in speaking on this?
No, sir.
All right, we have a motion by Councilman Segura, seconded by Councilman Brennan to close the public hearing. Council members, let's vote.
Councilmember Hayes,
Yes.
Councilmember Brannigan,
Yes.
Councilmember Brennan,
Yes.
Councilmember Kenny,
Yay.
Councilman Wilmot,
Yay.
Councilman Carroll,
Yay.
Councilman Segura.
Yay.
Motion passes 7-0 to close your hearing.
All right, we have a motion by Councilman Segura, seconded by Councilman Brennan to approve. Councilman Segura.
Thank you, Council President. As I alluded to earlier when we were moving on the revocation of the alley, this is a significant improvement for the city of Kenner's financial significance, because this land was airport buyout noise mitigation, and which they purchased some close to 30 years ago, and up until 2016 did not draw any property tax to the city of Kenner because the aviation board was exempt from paying property tax. So in 2016, they auctioned off a whole series of squares from the noise buyout program. And those properties were bought by individuals with the intent to develop them. But the caveat was they could never use them for residential. They could only use them for some form of commercial industrial use. So these individuals have been sitting on this land pretty much since 2016, paying some property tax and been wanting to develop it. But the biggest holdup was the airport, in its wisdom, chose not to finish buying out the rest of the residents in this subdivision, which goes from West Napoleon to West Metairie, from Williams to the airport access road. So they left a lot of residents right off of Williams, and the only way to get to this land that they bought was to go through that residential property. So that made it very, very hard for not only my predecessor, Councilman Stagney, and myself to rezone any of that airport buyout property for commercial industrial use, because you had to go through a residential subdivision to get to it. So fortunately, we were been successful. The city, along with the big help of Councilman Impostata and the parish government, to fund a project to close in the West Napoleon Canal and make a roadway on top that will allow us to put an entry to this commercial property in the backside, and that way you won't have to drive through the residential. So what we have now is the start of what I alluded to, an economic development of land that is now going to be further enhanced from just its property value, but other taxes that will come as this business is doing. They're relocating their headquarters from Metairie to Kenner. So they will put a building, they will have occupational licenses. So this is where we're going to start seeing some money coming back to the city for these lands that were pretty much vacant of taxes for close to 30 years. So very happy to have been working with the developers to get these projects moving and satisfy the residents who live around there that it will not be a drastic impact to them. So this business certainly has agreed to keep a low impact, and we look forward to having them in our city. I urge everyone to please vote in favor of this.
Thank you, Councilman. Great news. All right, we have our motion to approve. Let's vote.
Councilmember Brannigan,
Yes.
Councilman Brennan,
Yes.
Councilman McKinney,
Yay.
Councilman Wilmot,
Yay.
Councilman Carroll,
Yay.
Councilman Segura,
Yay.
Councilman Hayes.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Item 11C is summary ordinance number 12,739, an ordinance amending ordinance number 11,062 adopted by the city of Kenner, Louisiana on March 17, 2016, entitled Unified Development Code of the City of Kenner, Louisiana, more particularly amending and rezoning lots 15 through 20 and lots 93 through 98, square 178, Veteran Heights subdivision, Kenner, Louisiana, from R1, single family residential to C2, general commercial.
All right, we have a motion by Councilman Carroll, seconded by Councilman Segura to open the public hearing. Council members, let's vote.
Councilman Brennan,
Yes.
Councilman McKinney,
Yes.
Councilman Wilmot,
Yay.
Councilman Carroll,
Yay.
Councilman Segura,
Yay.
Councilman Hayes,
Yes.
Councilman Brannigan.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
All right, Mr. Dufour.
Yes, thank you, Council President. Let me share my screen. This will be the final presentation I have tonight. The applicant in this case is Dinesh Siddiqui, 4409 Rue St. Martin, Kenner, Louisiana, 70065. As part of the early neighborhood meeting requirement, the applicant did conduct an early neighborhood meeting. Due to COVID-19, they were allowed to send their required letters out to all the surrounding property owners, and then provide an opportunity via email and phone, and also a specific time window to get comments. No one responded, so we have, and the planning department was not contacted either for anyone. So the property lots 15 through 30 and 93 through 98 are undeveloped. Front Veterans Memorial Boulevard to the south and generally bounded by I-10 to the north, Greenwood Street to the east, and Fayette Street to the west. The property is surrounded on the rear by R3 and developed, and that property is developed 3 and 4 family, as 3 and 4 family units. Fronting Veterans to the east is C1 commercial property, and I'm sorry, to the east is C2 commercial, and to the west is C1 commercial. The applicant is requesting that her property be rezoned to C2. It's a survey of the property. The comprehensive plan for the city of Kenner does identify this portion of Veterans Memorial Boulevard as being commercial, long-term commercial. So it does fit with the comprehensive plan, and the planning commission did vote to approve this rezoning. That concludes the planning department's presentation.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Campo, anybody with their hands up?
I don't see anyone with their hand up, Councilman.
Thank you. All right, we have a motion by Councilman Carroll, seconded by Councilman Segura to close the public hearing. Let's vote.
Councilman McKinney,
Yay.
Councilman Wilmot,
Yay.
Councilman Carroll,
Yay.
Councilman Segura,
Yay.
Councilman Hayes,
Yes.
Councilman Brannigan,
Yes.
Councilman Brennan.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0 to close your hearing.
All right, we have a motion by Councilman Carroll, seconded by Councilman Segura to approve. Let's vote.
Councilman Wilmot,
Yay.
Councilman Carroll,
Yay.
Councilman Segura,
Yay.
Councilman Hayes,
Yes.
Councilman Brannigan,
Yes.
Councilman Brennan.
Unmute, Councilman Brennan.
Yes. I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Councilman McKinney,
Yay.
motion passes 7-0 to approve. Item 12 is other ordinances for final passage. We have none. Item 13 is resolutions and motions by council members. We have none. Item 14 is items removed from the consent agenda. We have none. Item 15 is acceptance of contracts and similar matters approved by the mayor. Item 15A is summary ordinance number 12,744. An ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Cycle Construction Company LLC, received June 24th, 2020 by the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development in the amount of $628,139.60 for South Williams Boulevard streetscaping, state project number H.009804, federal aid project number H009804, Kenner Public Works project number 2019-28-MISC for the Department of Public Works.
We have a motion by Councilman Carroll, seconded by Councilman Brennan to approve. Any comments? Let's vote.
Councilman Carroll,
Yay.
Councilman Segura,
Yay.
Councilman Hayes,
Yes.
Councilman Brannigan,
Yes.
Councilman Brennan,
Yes.
Councilman McKinney,
Yes.
Councilman Wilmot.
Yay.
Motion passes 7-0 for item 15A. Item 15B is summary ordinance number 12,745. An ordinance accepting the responsive bid and alternate number 1 received from Gottfried Contracting LLC in the amount of $162,200 for the 39th Street and Powell Boulevard Sewer Lift Station LS 4207 Upgrades Project in accordance with seal bid number 20-6564 for the Department of Public Works.
All right. This is in District 3. We have a motion by Hayes, seconded by Councilmember McKinney to approve. Tom, I'd like to ask, this did come in under budget?
Yes, Council President, it did. It came in under the engineer's budget for both the base bid and the alternate. We are selecting the base bid and the alternate, and you are below for both.
Thank you. All right, council members, let's vote by roll call again.
Councilman Segura,
Yay.
Hayes,
Yes.
Councilman Brannigan,
Yes.
Councilman Brennan,
Yes.
Councilman McKinney,
Yes.
Councilman Wilmot,
Yay.
Councilman Carroll.
Yay.
Motion passes 7-0. Item 16 is ordinances and resolutions in summary for first reading. Item 16A is an ordinance approving the plan of re-subdivision of lots 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18, square 113, into lots 8A and 11A, square 113, Kenner Heights subdivision, Kenner Jefferson Parish, Louisiana. Item 16B is an ordinance approving the plan of re-subdivision of lots 18 through 28 and part of lots 1 through 13, square 1A, into lots A, B, and C, square 1A, Kenner Heights subdivision, Kenner Jefferson Parish, Louisiana. Item 16C is an ordinance approving an agreement with Tunnels Spangler and Associates Incorporated, doing business as TSW, for professional services in accordance with RFP 20-6550 for an amount not to exceed $153,000. Item 17 is reports from the council and our special committees.
I don't see any hands up. Oh, Councilman Carroll.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I'd just like to thank literally the majority of the directors and the administration from KTV, Public Works, Code, Sewer, General Service, Recreation for their support this week of me, literally speaking to every director for different issues, from the legislation we passed for the continued beautification of the city to signage, to all of those things combined. They seem to all come together this week, and was able to speak to each director personally, to go out to the facility, to look at it now, to restart some of the things that may have been lagging because of COVID-19, but thanks for their support with the information, with additional schedules, and with the assurance to the community that we will be addressing these things aggressively and to assure that the ambiance and the look of the city of Kenner will continue to be star quality that we have come to expect. So thanks again, guys, for all your support, and we look forward to going forward with all of our plans. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilmember McKinney.
Thank you, Council President. There's just a couple of things. I want to recognize the Jefferson Parish Youth Council members who are in attendance again. Thank you for coming. Thank you for participating, and thank you for enthusiasm for government and for service and being part of the Key Club. You guys are doing an excellent job, and keep up the good work. I'd also like to thank the planning department. Obviously, you guys have been very busy in the past past months since you got playing catch up from all of the agenda items. So thank you very much for helping to move Kenner forward in terms of economic development. And thank you very much for all your hard work. And I look forward to having more items on the agenda. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Item 18 is new business. We have none. Item 19 is unfinished business and motions to reconsider or remove from a tabled position. We have none. Item 20 is persons wishing to address the council on special subject matters.
Mr. Campo, do we have anybody?
We do. Mr. Almarella, you're up first.
Ready?
Yes, sir.
Al Morella, 4260 East Loyola Drive, 5th District, 48 years. First, I want to make a special mention. I found out just yesterday, article in the Kenner Star, our code enforcement director had suffered a bout. Mr. Mohammed, James Mohammed, suffered a bout of the China virus. I want to extend my prayers to Mr. Mohammed, which I understand he's back on the job, and his family for a speedy and full recovery and a long, healthy life. I also want to extend my prayers to the mayor and hope that he has a full recovery from his procedure. Okay? Now, I want to talk about these virtual meetings. I think it's high time we went back to our face-to-face meetings, and I'm going to tell you why. For two reasons. First of all, what we're doing here is the same thing as what Joe Biden is doing, hiding in his basement. We need to get back to face-to-face, man. The numbers don't dictate this continuation of these virtual meetings like this. The second reason I'm saying this, Tuesday morning, the Jefferson Parish Council meeting on September the 1st unanimously passed a resolution urging the governor to put this region, Jefferson Parish, into stage 3. The numbers do not dictate the continuance of what's going on here. Now I'm gonna tell you, I plan on making this a topic at every council meeting until we do get back to our face-to-face meeting. Now, in closing, I expect to see a resolution from this council supporting the resolution that the parish council passed Tuesday, urging the governor to put this region into stage 3. Now, one more thing. Y'all are talking about millages, okay? Probably a lot of people in this city know. Maybe there's some that don't know. If you're 65 and older, you can call the assessor's office, Tom Capella, and you can file for a fixed assessment on your home to where your taxes will not go up unless there is a new millage approved by the voters. Other than that, your assessment will be frozen. This is a program for people 65 and older. Anybody have any comments, any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else?
Yes, Councilman. Ms. Alessandro, you can go ahead.
Hi there, thank you. So two things. Number one, if anybody from Public Works is listening right now, I just wanted to point out that there is a light that shines on the American flag in the front of Holly Heights subdivision, and some shrubbery has grown over the light, so it's no longer illuminating the American flag at night. And so I was just hoping that maybe somebody could just go out there and trim that pretty soon. Second, totally unrelated, is I'm very concerned about the economic conditions in Kenner. I was really sad to learn that Stein Mart closed or is in the process of closing. That one really hurts. Macy's hurt, and Stein Mart, you know. And so I know that last year y'all approved a 1-year contract. The mayor had signed with Miss Watkins to be the new economic development director. I'm curious if that contract was renewed again. That would have been a couple months ago. Was that contract renewed again? And also, in these very trying times, it seems like we hardly ever hear anything from that economic development department. I know they've made a presentation here and there over the last year, but it's been very few and very far between. So I would like to ask that we have regular updates, if that department is still in existence. I'd like to ask that we have regular updates at these council meetings. I mean, there's hardly anything more important than our tax revenue. That's where we're getting, you know, the money to do everything. I think we should have a report saying what is coming up, what we need to judge if this department is working. We need to know, because of this department, what new business has been brought into Kenner that they are directly responsible for. We need to have something that concrete that we can measure the results by. We need to have a report every month. And also, I'm just wondering also if we have any help for businesses that are struggling. Do we have any kind of resources that they can go to the economic development department? And, you know, if they're getting ready to leave for various reasons, maybe we can help them to stay. There's all kinds of different avenues out there that can help these people, whether it's a question of they can't afford their rent or, you know, they're having problems with manpower. Anyway, I think we should be able to also start helping these businesses when they say they're about to leave. What are we doing to help them not leave? So just in short, I'd like to hear a lot more from this economic development department every month. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ms. Alessandro, if I can just jump in real quick on your first issue over the garden. That's actually our next phase. We're currently working right now on all of the gardens throughout the city, whether they're neighborhoods or the welcome to the city gardens. I'm well aware of that issue, and I promise we'll get to that shortly. I actually had a meeting yesterday with the Chateau Estates Garden Club about the signage on the north side of that location. So I'm very well aware of it, and I assure you it'll be done shortly.
Thank you.
Councilman Carroll.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. And Ms. Alessandro, I think that's a reasonable request as it relates to your concerns and obviously our concerns for the present business owners and for any business owners that for whatever reason will have to relocate or reestablish their businesses. As we all know, there are different programs from the federal government to help sustain business owners. I'm not quite sure about for new business owners, but sustaining right now is the major concern, I think, for all municipalities. So to be able to get updates and information once a month is something great, not only for the citizens, but also for us as council people, and we can get that information on a daily basis if need be. So I look forward to that too, in some way, shape, or form. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments? Councilman Wilmot.
Thank you, Mr. President. I do want to make one comment on an issue that just popped up. I want to say this morning or late last night, early this morning, from a couple of people. It looks like in the Wood Lake subdivision, there are some odors that are of a concern. And I think we need to look into them to rule out things. First off, I do understand and have been talking to Chad earlier as well, that it could be some odors coming from the marsh and so forth from the spillway. And I appreciate that. I understand. But I think what we need to do is actually go into the neighborhood and have an investigation of some sort to rule out what it is and is not. I understand it is not sewage, but people are saying that it is a sewage type of smell. So if we could look into that, folks, I'd appreciate it. Chad or Tom, do you have any comments?
Excuse me, is it Wood Lake or in Grand Lake?
I'm sorry, Grand Lake.
Grand Lake, yes.
You're correct. Grand Lake.
Yeah, look, I spoke to the director and assistant director of the wastewater department. I actually live in that subdivision, so neighbors have been reaching out to me as well. And as we spoke on the phone earlier, the wastewater department did check their main lines and make sure that it was nothing backed up on their end. There are residents from St. Charles Parish complaining about the same smells. Look, it does happen every so often, and being an outdoors person as well, it's absolutely a smell of the drying out swamp mud after the water rushes in. So I know a lot of people can confuse those smells, but unfortunately that neighborhood is a stone's throw away from the St. Charles Parish marshland. So we do unfortunately get that, along with the increased population of mosquitoes. So it's one of those things, and hopefully it'll dry out soon.
If we feel confident that that's it though, huh, Chad?
I mean, look, we've done everything on the city side. We've checked out our wastewater department. It's not coming from the wastewater side.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I will add that we're going to continue to monitor that. And if anything else comes up, well, we'll be glad to come back to you and let you know.
And just one more thing. Somebody just sent me an email just in the last 30 minutes or so, and they were complaining of like a raw egg, egg smell. So that concerns me a little bit. So I don't know if there's anything we can do to have somebody go out there and check it. I know, Chad, you said you do live in that area, so, but just to rule it out.
All right, thank you all. Any other comments, concerns?
Mr. Greg Teft has his hand raised.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Mr. Teft.
Yes, Greg Tapp, 3720 West Viola Drive, Cantor, 5th District. I just want to make a few comments. First of all, I do want to thank the Cantor Fire Department for the help that they provided due to Hurricane Laura. And I also want to thank all the employees and the administration for what they have been doing to keep us moving in the city and getting things done so that we can look the best that we can during these very trying times. The other thing I want to echo is partly of what Stacy brought up, and that is, from my point of view, part of the role of business development is to have a pulse on existing as well as any new businesses that can move into the area. And when you have a business that's leaving or going out of business, we should be, as a city, should be aware of why one is going out of business, which without assuming that it's just all because of the pandemic, but also to provide what aid or what resources are out there that can be made available to them. Steinmart is a pretty fair-sized company, but how many family-owned businesses that could use that help? And that's the ones that concern me, because the smaller businesses don't have necessarily the resources of maybe some of these larger or national businesses. And I do believe that that is a role of the business development department area. So anyway, again, my real reason was to thank the administration, council, the employees particularly, and the fire department, police department, for all they have done during these very trying and hard times. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Teff. Any other comments?
There are no other hands raised.
Hearing no other comments, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Yay.
Carol?
Yes, sir, Mr. President. One quick comment, and this is related to Mr. Al. I hope he is still on the telephone. It's related to his comments, and Mr. Al, I'm always, it's good to talk to you, to hear we sometimes agree and sometimes we don't agree. So I'd like to thank you for bringing to our attention many things that sometimes may slip or sometimes may need additional information, comments, or support, whatever the case may be. We can count on you to do that. But as it relates to your comments about Jefferson Parish, I'm not sure what the legislation says or how it reads or what's in there, but I'm not going to hide in the basement. I'm going to tell you that based on your comments about the Kenner Council submitting something to the governor, I'm going to be hard pressed and want to read exactly what that says before I can support sending it to the governor without any concrete information or stated in a way to be able to support in my belief of safety first. While I support your enthusiasm for it, and we all do, and we all want to get back to the council, particularly myself, I am kind of a dinosaur. I'm not real good savvy with internet and the social media and all that, but I am a person and I am concerned about safety, and I am supportive of this administration so far, trying to keep us and our employees safe. And you're concerned as well, as you spoke about Mr. Muhammad. So as opposed to sending something just saying we are ready to get back to whatever normal is, I can appreciate that and I want that too. But to say just automatically go into phase 3 without considering anything that's going on, I don't want to fall prey to the trap that I believe many municipalities and states have gotten into and had to recall it. So I think caution is always better. And I would ask that you keep your enthusiasm. Myself personally will keep mine. I think eventually we will be able to come together to assure that we are doing the right thing. And I can't wait to get back to the council chamber. So thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman Carroll. I don't think we have to worry about Mr. Muhammad. I'm looking at him right now. He's as handsome as ever, so. Any other comments? Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion move.
Thank you. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Council Chair. Good evening, all.
Good night.